June 6, 1944, Omaha Beach, Normandy, France. The Higgins boat rocks violently in the heavy channel swell. Private First Class Thomas "Tommy" Callahan, 19-year-old rifleman from Brooklyn, New York, 1st Infantry Division, the big red one, grips the metal side rails so hard his knuckles are white. His M1 Garand is slung across his chest, bayonet fixed, helmet strap tight under his chin. The boat is packed, 36 men, soaked to the bone, seasick, silent. The ramp is down. The coxswain yells, 30 seconds. The bow wave crashes over them. Cold salt water stings like needles. Tommy's stomach churns, not from the sea, but from fear. He looks at the men around him, faces pale, lips moving in silent prayers, some vomiting over the side. No one jokes anymore. The training in England is over. This is real. The ramp drops. Hell opens. Machine guns rake the beach from the cliffs above. MG-42s, the Hitler's buzzsaw, firing 1,200 rounds a minute. Bullets whip the water into foam. Men in the front rows are cut down before they can step out. Bodies fall into the surf, turning the water red. Tommy jumps. The water is chest deep, cold as death. He wades forward, rifle high, legs pumping against the undertow. A shell explodes nearby. Sand and water blast upward. Shrapnel rips through the air. Tommy's helmet rings as something hits it. He keeps moving. Keep moving! Keep moving! He screams, voice lost in the roar. The beach is a killing zone. Obstacles, Czech hedgehogs, Belgian gates, mines everywhere. Barbed wire, bodies, men screaming for medics, medics screaming for help. Tommy drops behind a hedgehog as a mortar round detonates 20 yards away. Dirt rains down. He looks left. His squad leader, Sergeant Mike O'Malley, lies face down in the surf, half his head gone. Tommy crawls forward on his belly. Inches. Every inch costs blood. A German pillbox on the bluff above rakes the beach with fire. Men try to blow it with Bangalore torpedoes. Most are killed before they reach the wire. Tommy reaches the shingle, a low bank of pebbles at the base of the bluff. He presses himself flat. Around him, other survivors crawl in. A young lieutenant from another company shouts, "We have to get off this beach! Climb the draw!" They charge up the shingle toward the draw. Draw E1, the Veerville exit. German machine guns sweep the slope. Tommy sees men fall like puppets with cut strings. He runs, zigzagging, heart pounding so hard he thinks it will burst. He reaches the base of the cliff, a narrow path up, steep, exposed. Germans drop grenades from above. One rolls down, hissing. Tommy kicks it away. It explodes harmlessly in the sand. They climb, hand over hand. Rocks and dirt slide under boots. A grenade lands near the lieutenant. He covers it with his body. The blast is muffled. The lieutenant dies instantly. His men keep climbing. At the top, they meet the first Germans, Wehrmacht soldiers in field gray, terrified themselves. Hand to hand, bayonets, rifle butts. Tommy drives his bayonet into a German's chest. The man gasps, eyes wide. Tommy pulls free. Another German swings a shovel. Tommy ducks, fires point blank. The German falls. By noon, they hold the bluff. The beach below is still a slaughterhouse, bodies bobbing in the surf, landing craft burning, wounded screaming for help. But the draw is open. More troops pour up, tanks, engineers. The breakthrough begins. Tommy sits on the edge of the bluff, rifle across his knees, hands shaking. He looks at the sea, gray, endless, full of ships. He thinks of home, his mother in Brooklyn, the smell of her kitchen, his kid sister's laugh. He wonders if he'll ever see them again. By nightfall, they push inland. The fighting continues for days.
Hedgerows, bogage, snipers, mortars.
Omaha
But Omaha
Beach,
is taken.
the shingle,
The
a low
foothold
ridge
is
of wet
secure.
pebbles and shale at the
Tommy
base of the
survives
bluff,
D-Day.
becomes the
He
only
fights
cover.
across France,
Private
into
First
Germany.
Class Tommy
He comes
Callahan
home
throws
in
himself behind it,
1945,
face
alive,
pressed into the
but
cold
changed.
stones, heart
Years
slamming
later,
against his
he rarely
ribs.
speaks of it,
The air
but
is
when he
thick
does,
with smoke,
he says the same
cordite,
thing.
and the coppery
D-Day
smell of
wasn't
blood.
glory.
Bullets
It was
snap
survival.
overhead like
We
angry
didn't charge
hornets.
the beach for
Mortar
medals.
rounds
We
walk up the
charged
beach
because
in
the
deadly
men beside
patterns,
us
throwing
needed us
sand
to
and
keep
bodies
going.
into the air.
This
Around
is the
him,
forgotten
men
story
crawl,
of
stagger,
one
die.
American GI
A soldier to
on
his
Omaha
left,
Beach.
barely
Not
18,
the
takes a
generals,
burst
not
across
the
the
movies,
chest,
just a
collapses with a
young
wet
man from
gasp.
Brooklyn who
Tommy
walked
reaches
through
out,
hell
but the boy
and
is already
somehow
gone.
walked out.
A medic kneels nearby, working on a wounded man, hands red to the elbows. A shell lands 20 yards away. The medic disappears in a fountain of sand and meat. Tommy's squad is scattered. He sees Sergeant O'Malley's body floating in the surf, face down, helmet gone. The water is pink with blood. Landing craft burn offshore, black smoke rising like funeral pyres. Higgins boats drift unmanned, riddled with holes. The Germans on the bluff above have perfect fields of fire, pillboxes, trenches, concrete emplacements. MG-42s sweep the beach in long bursts. Every time a man stands, he is cut down. The obstacles, hedgehogs, tetrahedrons, mines, turn the surf into a deadly maze. Tommy crawls forward on his elbows, rifle cradled in his arms, inches at a time. He passes a wounded man begging for water. Tommy has none to give. He keeps moving. A Bangalore torpedo team tries to clear a path through the wire. The lead man is shot in the face. The second takes the pole, runs forward, is blown apart by a mine. The third picks it up, pushes it under the wire, lights the fuse. He dies as the charge explodes, tearing a gap. Tommy sees the opening. "Through there!" he shouts to the survivors around him. A dozen men crawl toward the gap. Machine gun fire rakes the shingle. 3 make it. Tommy is one. He reaches the base of the bluff. The cliff is steep, 100 feet of dirt, rock, and grass. Germans drop grenades from above. One rolls down near Tommy. He kicks it away. It explodes harmlessly in the sand. A lieutenant from another company rallies the men. "We have to climb. Get off this beach or we all die here." They start up the draw E1, the Vierville-Pexit. The path is narrow, exposed. Germans fire from the top. Men fall backward, tumbling down the slope. Tommy climbs hand over hand, boots slipping, fingers bleeding on sharp rocks. A grenade lands near the lieutenant. The officer covers it with his body. The blast is muffled. The lieutenant dies. His men keep climbing. Halfway up, Tommy looks back. The beach is a slaughterhouse, bodies bobbing in the waves, burning landing craft, wounded crawling toward the water to drown rather than burn. But more boats are coming, more men. The tide is rising. The foothold is fragile, but it exists. Tommy reaches the top. Germans wait in trenches, hand to hand. Bayonets clash. Tommy drives his into a German's chest. The man falls, gasping. Another swings a rifle butt. Tommy ducks, fires point blank. By 0900, they hold the bluff. The draw is open. Tanks begin to crawl up. Engineers blow more wire. The breakthrough begins. Tommy sits on the edge, rifle across his knees, hands shaking. He looks at the sea, gray, endless, full of ships. He thinks of Brooklyn, his mother, his sister. He wonders if he'll ever see them again. The day is only beginning. June 6, 1944. The draw is secured. Private First Class Tommy Callahan and the survivors of the first wave push inland. The hedgerows of Normandy rise like green walls, thick earthen banks topped with tangled bushes and trees. The bocage country is a natural fortress. Every field is a kill zone, every hedge a sniper's hide. They advance in short rushes. Squads leapfrog from hedge to hedge. Germans wait in camouflaged positions, machine guns dug into the banks, Panzerfausts ready. The first ambush comes without warning. A burst of MG-42 fire tears through the hedgerow. 2 men drop. Tommy dives into a ditch, rolls, comes up firing. His M1 barks. The German gunner slumps. But another opens up from the flank. Bullets snap branches overhead. Leaves rain down. "Grenades!" someone yells. Tommy pulls a fragmentation grenade, yanks the pin, lobs it over the hedge. It explodes with a sharp crack. Screams in German. Silence. They move forward again. The fields are small, enclosed. Tanks can't maneuver. Shermans get stuck in the sunken lanes. German anti-tank guns pick them off. A Sherman burns 50 yards away, black smoke rising, crew bailing out, one on fire, rolling in the grass. Tommy's platoon is down to 12 men. They reach a small farmhouse, Germans inside. They clear it room by room. Door kicks, grenades, bayonets. Tommy enters the kitchen. A German soldier cowers behind the table, young, maybe 17, hands up, terrified. Tommy's finger tightens on the trigger. He sees the boy's eyes, wide, pleading. He lowers the rifle. "Hands behind your head. Move." The boy complies. Tommy ties his hands with bootlaces. The squad takes him prisoner. Outside, more fighting. Snipers in trees. Mortars dropping from the ridge. Men fall. Medics work frantically. Morphine syrettes, sulfa powder, bandages soaked red. By dusk, they reach the first objective, the village of Vierville-sur-Mer. The streets are rubble. Houses burn. Civilians have fled. The Germans counterattack at night. Infiltration, hand to hand in the dark. Tommy fights in a garden, knife against knife. He kills one, wounds another. Dawn comes gray and cold. The village is theirs, but the cost is high. Tommy's platoon is down to 7. He sits against a wall, rifle across his knees, staring at the sea in the distance. The beach is still chaos, bodies washing in with the tide, wrecked landing craft, the smell of burning fuel and flesh. He thinks of Brooklyn again, the subway rumble, his mother's voice calling him for dinner. He wonders if he'll ever hear it again. But the war isn't over. The hedgerows stretch inland for miles. Cannes, Carentan, Saint-Lô. More hedgerows, more ambushes, more graves. Tommy stands, shoulders his rifle, moves forward. One step at a time, one hedge at a time. D-Day was just the beginning.
June 6, 1944. Dusk. Vierville-sur-Mer, Normandy. The village is a smoking ruin. Private First Class Tommy Callahan leans against the wall of a shattered farmhouse, rifle across his knees, eyes scanning the darkening hedgerows. The sky is the color of bruises, gray, orange, black from burning vehicles and houses. The roar of battle has faded to scattered gunfire, the occasional mortar round, the distant thunder of naval guns offshore. His platoon is down to 5 men. They huddle in the garden behind the house, sharing a can of sea rations, cold beans and crackers. No one speaks much. Words feel heavy. Tommy's hands still shake when he tries to light a cigarette. The flame flickers. He gives up. A runner from Company HQ stumbles in, young, wild-eyed. "We hold here tonight, reinforcements tomorrow. Germans are regrouping on the ridge." Tommy nods. He knows what that means. Counterattack at dawn. They dig in, shallow foxholes behind the hedgerow. Tommy shares a hole with a replacement named Eddie, a kid from Kansas, first day in combat. Eddie's hands tremble as he loads his M1. Tommy shows him how to dig deeper, how to place grenades within reach, how to listen for the whistle of incoming shells. Night falls. The Germans probe. Shadows move in the fields. Flares pop overhead. White light turns the landscape ghostly. Machine guns chatter. Tommy fires at muzzle flashes. Eddie panics, empties a clip into the dark. Tommy grabs his shoulder. "Save your ammo. They're testing us." A grenade lands nearby. Tommy dives on Eddie, covers him. The blast is deafening. Dirt rains down. Eddie coughs, terrified. "I'm gonna die here," he whispers.
Tommy looks at him. Not tonight, kid, not tonight. The probes stop. The Germans pull back. Silence returns, broken only by the moans of the wounded and the crackle of distant fires. Tommy doesn't sleep. He watches the stars between clouds. He thinks of Brooklyn again, the smell of the bakery on Flatbush, his mother's laugh, his father's stories from the Great War. He wonders if they know he's alive. He wonders if he'll ever tell them what happened today. Dawn breaks gray and wet. Rain falls. The Germans counterattack at first light, infantry supported by 2 Panzer IVs. The tanks crawl down the lane, guns booming. Shermans from the 743rd Tank Battalion arrive just in time, duel in the fields. 1 Sherman burns, 1 Panzer is knocked out, the infantry clash. Tommy's platoon holds the hedge. They fire from slits in the bank. Grenades, BAR bursts. The Germans fall back. By noon, reinforcements arrive. Fresh troops, more tanks, artillery spotters. The line advances. Tommy stands on the ridge, looking back toward Omaha. The beach is still littered with wreckage, but the tide has carried away many bodies. More ships unload. The foothold is solid. He shoulders his rifle, moves forward with the platoon. 1 hedge at a time, 1 village at a time. D-Day was just the beginning. The war stretches ahead, months of hedgerows, cities, rivers, and graves. But today, Omaha Beach is taken. Today, the invasion succeeds. Tommy survives the day. He fights on. He comes home. He never forgets.